Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pump and Dump Hash Podcast, where we do give financial advice. Hello, fiatjaf. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You really prepared these intros.
Well, I prepare them like a minute in advance. Yes,
Yeah.
I prepared the intros.
I'm excited to learn what you're going to talk about after this introduction.
It's like the reason for the introduction is your topic.
My topic? No,
Yes.
no shit. You don't have any other topics. My topic is the most stupid thing. I just picked something random.
Yes, so start with your random thing, and then I have a transition into another subject. It's fine. We're gonna get there. Also, I've prepped another rip of the Artosis cast. I just scrolled down for very long to find something old. Find something old and that's reasonably long, and then I was like, okay, I'll just rip that, and then we can do that.
Okay.
So let me start. I'll count down so I know where to paste it in. 3, 2, 1, go. It's a TVP,
Wow.
by the way.
Yeah.
It's scan versus. I don't know what the other one is. You want me to check the file? I can check.
Okay, you can check. Please check.
Motive. I don't know motive. I know scan, but I don't know motive. Anyway. What's your
I know
topic?
motive.
Future.
I've watched a million games from this guy. My topic is just the most boring thing, like just this news that apparently people are using their monkey NFTs as
The word is
guarantees.
collateral.
What's the name?
Collateral.
Yeah, collateral. Thank you. And then they are losing their NFTs. That's my topic.
It was a few weeks ago, though, right?
It was. I don't even know if it's true or what is happening, or if this has any relevance to the monkey economy or not. I just found it funny.
Okay, so the floor price of the monkey NFTs is going down, and I suppose that the rules of the collateral is that it's going off of the floor price, and the floor price is,
Yeah.
if I get it right, it's like the last or the lowest value trade, last lowest value trade or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, and so I think it's amazing that you were able to collateralize, use a monkey NFT as collateral. That's the
Well-
first thing. That's like amazing.
Why?
Well, because they're not liquid. So.
No, but houses are also not liquid. Real estate in general.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I guess that's fair enough. The thing is, with a house, there's something there. I don't know if I mean, it's still a house, right? At the end of the day, even with land, it's like at least it's land, right? It has the potential to build a house, or you could just put a tent. I don't care. So yeah, it's a collateral. So now that we're forced to sell, but the thing is, what I think is amazing is like, okay, so somebody had to buy the monkey picture.
Maybe not. Maybe that's just the bank that made the law. Is
Yeah,
holding the monkey now.
so you get like, so maybe they got their monkey seized, right? Okay. So now you so now you have a monkey picture. It's like you're fucked. It's like you're gonna get fucked. Why would you do this? Why would you be the counterparty to this trade? That's like, why?
And you get it exactly when the entire NFT market is
Right, per
going
definition.
to zero.
Yes,
Yeah,
per definition.
that's when you get it. So-
per definition. So yeah, it's stupid. I mean,
What's happened with the ordinal stuff? Is it
I-
still in
I
a
don't know.
boom?
I don't know. I don't follow this stuff. You follow this.
Yeah, but the Bitcoin fees, they're still high, right?
Yeah, are they?
At least the mempool is still.
Are
The fee is not very high, but the mempool still has a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, okay, so the mempo hasn't cleared yet. That's your point. Yeah, we're still there. Well, I mean, we got to a level where it's kind of hard to get the mempo cleared.
Yeah, but do you still have a lot of JPEGs on these transactions?
I don't know.
Or not?
I don't know. I'm clueless on these things. fiatjaf.
Okay, so I'll click on random transactions on the mempool.
Oh yes,
Explorer
that's the
until I
best way
find one.
to figure this shit out. It's like just so let's just dig through random transactions. This is the best content. People love this, right? We get on here. We
while
don't
we
have
talk
topics.
about something else, I'll be clicking.
Okay. So my plan was that we're gonna talk about like financing stuff and in the crypto space, and then I'd slowly transition to the VP money question. Because last week.
What is a VP? VP is vice president.
No, I'm blanking out. VC, sorry.
VC.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, got confused. Venture capital. So, because last week with the discussion with Paul, he mentioned that there's like a lot of money in the Lightning space right now, and that creates its own incentives. But the strange thing with this, like, investing with this VC money is like there are all these startups, and they get a shit ton of money, and there are a bunch of developers developing things, I guess. But is there actually a market? Are they actually businesses? Are they making money? Is there any revenue? Is there any
no revenue?
Is there any potential revenue in the future? Right? Like how the fuck does this work? So now there's this big fugazi going on. This is big mirage, and there's like this incentive to hype itself up, just for the sake of attention, so nobody feels like they're a bunch of idiots working and investing in this stuff, I guess. That's interesting, by the way. He used a shuttle quite early just to get the Dragoons in. You don't see that often. Most of the times they just wait for like a Reaver or something, but he just went for it.
One other thing I never see people do, actually I do see, but it's not common, is like using the Reaver to break the bunker. And
yeah, but
every time I see someone doing that,
see
it
right
works.
there why
And I don't know why they don't do it
just
always.
SCV drill and then get wrecked.
Really?
Anyway, yeah, you didn't see?
It was frozen for some seconds, like in the
that's unfortunate.
amazing Durov sponsored Telegram transmission.
So yeah, are there any malincentives, and if such, what on a practical sense are they currently? Specifically
I don't
in
know.
the
Do you
Lightning
think if you had a lot of money, would you invest in Bitcoin companies?
No, I would invest in Bitcoin.
Really? You just buy Bitcoin with everything?
Yes.
I guess that makes more sense. I tend to think that these VCs, they're just a bunch of idealists. Like they want to see Bitcoin succeeding, and they think they will help more if they invest in these companies.
I agree, but I think so my hypothesis or my thesis is that like Bitcoin relies on idiots, right? It relies on idiots. It relies on developers, right? The core developers, who are a bunch of idiots putting all their fucking time and effort and spending their life on like a very frustrating project that they're never gonna get the actual recognition for that they deserve, or the money, or whatever. So they're a bunch of useful nerds.
I don't know. I think they get a lot of money. At
Maybe,
least currently.
Maybe.
There's a ton of money being granted and to these people.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting. I'm just pulling everything out of my ass here.
It's also very interesting. Like they work on whatever they think it's interesting. And if they were normal software developers, they would work on very boring things.
That's true.
And and in most cases, these things won't make any difference to anything to anyone. So
That's true. It's also kind of the problem, or that's a problem with Bitcoin development, I guess. Especially there's like a lot of complaints in terms of reviewing, because it's not completely true. I mean, they do have to pull in some weight in terms of doing reviews on stuff. And I can't imagine like doing code review is fun or interesting, particularly. Sounds like
well,
work.
I think it's not the worst thing. I think
Okay, I have no
because
experience.
you're directly interested in that since you're working on the code base. You don't want crap code to be merged in, so you have to fix later. And also you feel like a sense of duty for not allowing people to destroy Bitcoin with
Yes.
bad code.
Okay. But so let's continue with the thesis, right? So this sense of duty cucks developers into working for Bitcoin, and then I think the same thing with miners, like the whole mining thing. But I've said this before. It's like most of them, because every time miners get wrecked, you're better. You're probably just better off buying Bitcoin. If you're able to get the upfront investment for the capital investment to set up your entire business, you might have just bought the Bitcoin. So, in terms of what the game theory is,
That's
the
what
only-
Blockstream did, right? Blockstream bought a shit ton of
yes,
Bitcoins
yes, correct,
with
yeah,
their IPO, ICO, whatever.
yes, yes. So Blockstream did it right.
And they didn't do any products. Like they just bought the Bitcoin and stay.
They were supposed to make
quiet.
sidechains. Well, they did elements, right? And with elements, they made liquid.
Yeah, but that's not a product. Just a toy project. Yeah, but
No.
yeah,
The satellite thing is a toy project. So the satellite thing is a toy project.
Yeah, liquid is. You can say it's something they're trying to sell, but
Okay, well, in terms of like a product and making revenue, yeah, okay, sure, fair enough.
well, they also have like CLN, the Lightning implementation that earns them zero money. They have the green wallet that also doesn't do any money for them.
They now they have the Jade wallet, the Hardware wallet.
Yeah,
that's an
maybe they
actual
make
product.
some money from that.
Yeah. So
And supposedly they have mining stuff that I don't know how it works.
and so miners miners get duped into mining. While you're probably just better off if you're just able to raise the money, you're just better off raising the money for Bitcoin. There's even less risk in it. So yeah, I think like in terms of the game theory, Bitcoin, the whole notion about Bitcoin is it's like this adversarialism and etc. It's like, yeah, but that's not how we're booting up the system. The reason it gets developed and boot up and actually gets carried, it's not this adversarialism. It's complete altruism.
Yeah. Well, about the VC stuff, I just remember there's at least one case that I know that the people, the company that was going to receive the investment, they said, we're not going to make any money. We're just here to advance Bitcoin and make cool products, whatever, without any goal of making any profit. And the investor said, okay, here's the money.
That's good, but that's
I don't
exactly
know.
my point, right? I mean, the moment. So I think. So the moment.
Yeah, but this was like very clear. Like there's no shade of like any possibility of making money.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good because at least it's like authentic and you don't get weird stuff going on. Whereas if you sell the lie that you can make money with Bitcoin, aside of the fact that the BTC is appreciating, then you get into this really weird spot where all of a sudden now you have to you get this misaligned incentives where you have to you do really weird stuff in order to keep up the hype, etc. A lot of stuff with that you see in the shitcoin space, right? Fancy websites with animations.
Yeah, I think in Bitcoin is worse. Like you end up having to do a bunch of KYC, fiat stuff, and charge stupid fees. And there's this, I was told, this Emboss website, like it was supposed to be a Lightning Explorer.
Yeah.
You saw that?
No, I know Emboss. I know Emboss. Yeah.
Yeah. Supposedly the CEO said they're selling your data, and like they have a plugin that everybody installs that takes your channel balances. I don't know who is interested in this crap, but they are trying to sell your channel balances information or your metadata to governments or something like that. I can't imagine why would the government want this, but still a very shady practice and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
I think it would be much better, like if an investor wanted to waste money to make Bitcoin more popular, they could open up ice cream shop and say, this we will make the best ice cream, it will be very cheap, everybody will love it, and we will only accept Bitcoin as payment. I think this stuff like that would be
okay, but now we're repeating ourselves because I feel like we already had this conversation.
Well, I think every show is just the same show.
It's true. That's right. That's right. I still have to mention like fuck the plebs and global state, but now we're there. So now we can just continue watching the game.
Okay.
So this was a nice move by Oh, he's pulling back actually. He's saving his tanks.
How do you go up on a ramp with dragoons? It's impossible.
Don't. Yeah, you don't. You don't. You just keep. So it's the same for Goliaths, by the way. It's not like so Goliaths and dragoons are impossible. You just keep clicking. So what you do is you keep clicking.
Yeah, but if they're attacking you, do you stop to try to attack them, or do you keep going in a move command? Because if you stop, you fuck all the dragoons that are behind you.
Oh yeah. So what you do is you spam click in order to force pathing, and you use hold position in between.
Oh. Why did I think of that?
You use hold position in the timing of the goon shots, and you spam click in between to force the pathing, and that's how you go up ramps with dragoons. If you're like getting attacked, but the best answer is like you don't. Why are you going up a ramp when there are like tanks shooting up you? It's like it's stupid. But if you're desperate to do it, then that's how you do it. You just keep spam clicking and use hold position in between the goon shots. So, do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
No more questions.
Are we gonna play Team Melee today?
No, not today. At least not me.
Okay.
I'm on vacation for StarCraft.
I just I finished the campaign last week or this week of
this is so boring.
Of Warcraft 3. Because
you waste your time playing these stupid games.
Well, I mean,
StarCraft.
I played the campaign. I played the Warcraft 3 campaign when it came out, right? I never revisited it, and then Paul started talking about Warcraft 3, and it was like, okay, I'll play it.
I didn't play that. I think I don't know why I didn't play that. I played I just installed the game and started playing 1v1. I think it was I had some colleague at school that said he was better than me, and I had never played the game, so I just tried to get good enough to beat him, and when I beat him I stopped playing, and I played motivation. Some of those.
That's good.
Whenever I beat you at StarCraft, I'll stop playing StarCraft too.
Okay. Well, that's never right then. Okay, that's good. You're gonna be doomed to play StarCraft forever. I remember. So with Lightning, like you're very critical with Lightning, and I don't think it's on a meta level or on a theoretical level, but that you have like a lot of practical complaints about like how the implementation and the spec and etc. is set up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking, it's like, isn't it an idea to get like a rogue different lightning network going? Like
Yeah.
instead of like Kumbaya, we have this bolt specification. We get the F bolt specification, like the fuck bolt specification, and then make like a
Yeah.
completely different lightning network. It's like, no, we're not gonna be compatible with you guys. You suck. You suck.
Yeah, but
with your and like not with the whole thing with like we got we need to have like 3 implementations and like and then this kind of bullshit, right? Just like, no, we're one team. We're gonna build this shit and we're gonna build it right. And then
But what's the right way to do it?
we'll have to figure it out. I'm thinking of the important stuff, right? So we got the name, the F bolt, fuck bolt. We need good aesthetics. We need like evil aesthetics. We need like skulls and shit.
Okay.
That it's very clear that like we're the evil ones. And then maybe just for meme value to get like attention first, we're not going to open source it. We're like, maybe we'll open source it, but like for now we're not, because it's our stuff, it's our IP. We built this stuff, it's better than yours, so people are just gonna use it anyway. Suck it up. Just to get like.
No one's going to use it. That's
some
the
strife.
problem. Even if it's really good, no one's going to use it.
As everybody's going to use it because development's going to be a lot faster, and you don't have the forced channel close bullshit going on. We're gonna solve all the problems that are in Lightning right now. It's gonna run way more efficient. We're gonna use the AI to write it in assembly, right?
Yeah,
we're just gonna run
that would
with
be
it.
good.
I think.
Well,
I was thinking about this. Like, is that a good idea? I think it's actually a good idea.
It's not a bad idea, as
Is
long
it's
as you know what is the good way to do it. Like, what's the best way to do it? Because I don't think the Lightning spec is completely bad. I just think, well, I think it's for what they are trying to do. It's not that bad. Oh, so many probes exploded.
Never. Well, trying to probe transfer to the other side of the map. The complete other side of the map when there is a Terran army there. Probably not a good idea. So, yeah. I think it's like StarCraft is silly in this way, right? I mean, you at the start of the game, you stress out. It's like, oh no, I lost a probe, and then like when you're like 10 minutes, when you're like 10 minutes in, it's like, oh well, I lost 20 probes, whatever. So fucking stupid.
You see these stasis. I used to watch games like a year ago, and I don't know if that's the correct time frame, but a year ago, every Protoss used stasis against Terran, and I was watching games recently, and they never ever do it. So these people, they just like the new fashion.
Well, they don't go into Arbiter as fast. Because you need quite a bit to get into an Arbiter.
Yeah, just Bisu. He did some Arbiters on the last ASL and he just lost straight up.
Especially when look now at this stage, right? I mean, they split the map. They're wasting like 20 probes at a time, whatever. The dude's banking like 2k minerals. So getting into Arbiter tech is like easy. You can just get everything. But at the start of the game or when in the mid game, there's just too much pressure. It's not trivial to go into Arbiters because you have to get the Stargate. It's not useful for anything other than carriers and Arbiters. And then you have to go all the way up to the Arbiter Tribunal. So yeah, that's why. Yeah. So okay. So now, do you think the OpenSat stuff is going to fund the evil Lightning?
Not if it's not open source. That's
I was thinking about that. It's like that's an issue. It's like fuck. They're not gonna fund us if it's not open source. It has to be closed source.
Also, We don't need any funding. Like, if it's just, if we do it in the weekends,
No, we need funding, fiatjaf.
the funding is supposed to
I need-
hire developers, like pay developers.
No.
What?
No. You need to at least pay the project manager. I don't care about the developers. We just at least need to pay the project manager.
Okay, if you apply to OpenSets and say that, let's see what they say. But you have to at least have an idea, right, of how it's going to work. Or no, you just say fuck both.
Yes, fuck
Well,
both.
with the quality of the projects they funded recently, not the Nostr OpenSets branch, that's good, but the Bitcoin OpenSets branch, the projects they funded, they're so bad. They're almost as bad as the Spiral funded projects.
It's wait, isn't the LDK part of Spiral?
Yeah, LDK is very bad, but no.
Is it?
Apparently LDK is good. Some people say that, other people say it's not that good, but I never used it. But that one is like they hired people to work on it. But aside from that, they also gave money to random people that were doing things. Like, and these, from what I saw, it was all a big waste.
Okay, but what are the type of projects that they're doing? Name something.
Oh, I remember some like that some guy made a watchtower thing for Lightning that no one ever used, and there was no demand, and the thing was written in Python. It was very bad, and it didn't secure the HTOCs. In the meantime, Anton from the Simple Bitcoin wallet, he made a watchtower that was much better than that, like in a weekend. And the guy was the entire year working on this crap that no one wanted. And then at the end, he got another grant to rewrite it in Rust, because of course, that's what you have to do. There was another guy that was making a library for wallets that no one asked for, and he wasn't even making a wallet. He was just making a library for other wallets to use, and no other wallet ever used it. It was a library for storing your backups on your Google Drive with a PIN code.
Okay.
So apparently you need some special library that takes 1 year of funding to build, so
Seriously?
you can talk. Yeah, that's true. I don't remember the other ones, but these were on the beginning. But then I stopped following. But there were many others that I saw that were very shitty.
I mean, it's hard, because I honestly think the core is not done developing yet. I mean,
core, you mean Bitcoin?
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close. I mean, we
You just need drive chain and that's it.
no. So the whole point is that we actually don't need drive chain. That's absolutely not where the focus should be.
Wait, okay, what do you need?
So we need the okay, so we need like something in covenants, right? So you need to be able to specify the output side, or make restrictions based on the output side. The contracting also needs to be more complex in the sense that you probably, like, getting restrictions based on Satoshi amounts would be nice. I don't think it's an absolute must-have, but it would be a nice feature. So there are a couple things there.
This would mean like a complete revamp of the scripting language.
Basically,
such as that simplicity. But
yes.
I don't know. Simplicity sounds very nice, but I think it's impractical. I was trying to understand it, and a while ago, and I think I understood enough to conclude it's not very practical. And also, they talk about the jets thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Because without the jets, it's impossible. Because you would have to waste way too many bytes to write each script.
Yes, correct.
So you need the jets. But each jet is a soft fork. So
correct. Yes, but in a sense, it's trivial to do as a soft fork. I mean, why would you particularly care? Maybe you get some bike shedding on it, I guess. Well, ultimately, the point with simplicity, I think there are two main points with simplicity. It's an engine, right, first and foremost. So the whole code introspection thing, that's one big point of simplicity that I think is very important. So you
But
get
supposedly you can do everything. You can even do drive chain with simplicity.
yes, but so that's the second part. It's like, okay, it's just a better, more. So I think the fact that it's more flexible is like a derivative of
But then
the
suppose you
introspection.
have simplicity and someone writes drive chain in simplicity, and now you need a jet for that. And then people, oh no, drive chain, no, we can't have drive chains, jets.
So the it's so the this gets into like part of the reason why I think it needs to be. So I had this idea of Bitcoin 2.0, right? Where you just so it's not Bitcoin 2.0. Sorry, it's Bitcoin 1.0. 1.0. But the meme doesn't work anymore because Core dropped the 0 point something. They just
Yeah.
so
They just realized that version numbers have no meaning.
it's not 1.0 anymore. But I think at some stage you'd get to a point where you could rebuild Bitcoin. This is obviously like a hard fork, but you could rebuild Bitcoin in a sensible manner, because you're probably not going to like find out or figure out any fundamental new things. Like if you'd made the new Bitcoin and you went there and like a day after where somebody realizes like, oh no, we should have had this, and like, oh, so stupid. Oh, if we only waited one more month, and right. So I think at some point, and I think we're getting close in terms of like figuring out a horizon, but we're not there yet. But at least
Who's going to win this game, Protoss or Terran?
Right now? Ooh.
Who is going to win?
That's a good question. I have to look at the mineral patches, because you get to a stage where you just can't kill the Terran anymore, or it's very hard for the Protoss to kill the Terran, so the Protoss just runs out of money.
But they have much more bases.
Yes, but if they run out of money, then the bases are no use if they're empty, right? So time is in favor of the Terran, because he just has to like sit on his half of the map, maybe.
So I was going to say that Protoss was going to win, but now you've convinced me that Protoss is doomed. Okay,
well,
continue with your.
I didn't say that. I just said that Protoss has to force something, because if it isn't able to force something, he's trying with the hallucination arbiters, right? But he got EMP'd, so. So we're getting close to understanding what this Bitcoin thing actually is supposed to be, in a technical manner, like and all this stuff. So then, eventually, you get to a point where you're sort of close, but you just hit the limitations of the fact that the current implementation just sucks, right? And from that point on, it's like, well, what if we just rebuild Bitcoin? And then do it like in the formal logic thing that we discussed like a zillion episodes ago. So you actually have a specification instead of this like the implementation is the specification bullshit. Right?
I was thinking about this, but I don't know if like the implementation is the specification. I think this is bullshit, but I think we're bound to have that no matter what.
Yes,
because if you have two implementations and they differ, one of them is going to be dominant, and that will be the correct. Even if it's against this.
Yeah. So, but the point is that you get a consensus engine, right? You just put all the consensus rules. You define those. That's the specification, and then you can write whatever implementation you want. It doesn't matter because the.
So, but your rules, your consensus is code. Is a program.
Yes, but the specification is not in natural language. It's like specified in logic.
Okay, and you translate that to
whatever code you
computer.
want. I don't care. Yeah, but
Okay.
you probably have to do it like if something very very strict, and you can do it in very strict because you know specifically what you want. There's zero ambiguity here.
So, but
And
you
then
can't do anything like that because it would be a hard fork.
yes, that's the point. But here it is. We have to hard fork anyway because of the time bug. So we're gonna have to do hard fork anyway. So then they're
When is that?
somewhere
It's 100 years.
2080. No, somewhere in like 60 years or something. Because it's the UTC bug, and then we have like unsigned 32-bit integer whatever. So instead of it being the signed one is pretty close, and then the unsigned gives you a couple more decades. Anyway, we have to do the hard fork anyway, and then so there are, I guess, two main reasons to ways to approach this: to say like we're only going to fix the time bug and nothing else, right? That's the safe way. Or you say, well, the fact that we know that we have to do this in 50 years anyway, let's just start working on making this Bitcoin 1.0 now and just shelf it. And then by the time that we actually have to force to do the hard fork, we already have this meme going on. It's like, okay, everybody agrees that we're going to this Bitcoin 1.0 thing.
You have to do like the Ethereum people did. You have to put the money now and wait for the merge.
Well, no, maybe it's like with the thing the Ethereum people did by saying like we're going to proof of stake sometime, right? Because everybody was aware of the fact that it was supposed to go to proof of stake right from the
But we
start.
won't be able to reach any consensus on anything, I think, at this point or ever. And Ethereum they did because everybody just accepts whatever Vitalik said.
So I agree. I mean, hard forking in Ethereum, they do it every day, right? So it's more trivial. My point is that I'm not sure to what extent that's actually true. The moment if you were able to actually realize this vision I'm laying out, right, where you have this formal logic specified Bitcoin 1.0 that's very clean, very neat, far better to develop on. So it's obviously superior to the clusterfuck tie-rip duct tape shit that you have up till that point. And because it's like there's zero ambiguity there. It's not like, well, maybe it's not gonna work or whatever. So it's just gonna work. It's been tested for like 20 years, right? There has been a test net of the thing for like 20 years, and there is this like half expectation of going on. Then what are the actual objections? Assuming that you're able to do this, right? What are the actual objections? Because if Bitcoin is this thing that has to run like a couple of 100 years because it's like the next foundation of human civilization going forward, at least until we get like seriously interplanetary and shit, then it's worth it. So the current Bitcoin, it's a nice draft, right? It's a nice first attempt at the thing. And it was just there to test if it's worth it, if it's worth our attention, our collective attention as a human race, to get to this standard. And then
that's what the shitcoiners say.
What are the shitcoiners say?
Well, at least they use it to say like, oh, Bitcoin was great, but now we have something that is much better.
No, so it's not, so yeah, but they're saying it's like, it's not about improving Bitcoin. Like, it doesn't have to be a new Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin. It's just you. It's first of all, it's the same UTXO set, right? You're not going to.
I don't know. I personally don't see. I can't imagine something that's so pure, so logic, because every computer program has too many things that.
Yes, because it's software, you idiot. I'm not talking about fucking software.
Well, but it's not just software. Okay, so it's software. Software has to talk to other software. You have money incentives, whatever.
Yes,
You
but
know
that's all on
the
that's all
RGB
on the
people,
implementation side. Yeah. What about the RGB people?
they have that proposal for the new Bitcoin. It's just sounds very much like you're talking about, except
No, because they're trying to they're proposing something different. I'm not proposing anything really different. I'm proposing the exact same thing, just done well. So
well,
because we have this slow creep towards let's say the telos, right? The ultimate manifestation of what Bitcoin is or supposed to be, right? We're moving towards that point. And once you get there, then you can just redo it and do it well. That's the point. That's the argument I'm making. And I'd say it's worth it to do it because otherwise you're dooming humanity to this bullshit buck for buck compliance to, let's say, the end of time. Because there is this ambition to make this consensus engine stuff, but I don't know to what extent it's even possible to do it.
I don't know. I don't know if it has the big advantage to doing that, and would be a very complicated problem. And also, I don't know. I can't. I can't see
a new Bitcoin or the consensus engine.
The new Bitcoin.
Okay.
I think that that's the idea of people that they have a working program, computer program, and they say, "Oh, this thing is working, but it's full of legacy crap and
yes,
and could be much better. So let's just rewrite it from scratch." And then everything is broken. It has happened so many times.
Okay, but the thing is that Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin, no, it's not that Bitcoin is different. It's Bitcoin demands something different. Bitcoin actually demands this purity shit.
I don't know. It was dirty since the beginning, right? It was dirty since the beginning.
Yes, and we're still struggling with the dirt.
Like
and
the
it's very commendable.
the time measurement thing, for example, it's just dirty. You can't get around of that. Like how to put the time on the blocks, for example.
Oh, you mean like the minor oracle function of putting time steps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, but I'm not talking about that because that's not like an implementation detail thingy. That's just how the system works. So Bitcoin runs under the assumption that we have a pre-existing consensus on time. Is he going to get the EMP? Is he going to get... Oh, he sees it. Oh, no. Oh! The army's there. It's no problem. It's just going to siege up, wreck everything. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It should have stasis the ramp. But then he wouldn't be able to...
No, probably not enough energy to do that. This is interesting. Oh, look at all those SCVs dying.
I guess Protoss
what was I talking about?
Is going to lose. The supply is too small.
Yeah, he's run out of money. He has one mining base left. That's mid left. Yeah, that's the only mining base. So Terran's like, whatever. It's like, okay, I can exchange this. And you have nothing left. Okay, so what was I talking about? Fuck.
Some crazy idea for making a shitcoin.
No.
I think.
Oh wait. Oh, so the
pre.
So it has the pre. It runs under the assumption we have a pre-existing consensus on time, right? I guess I was right, by the way. On the game. So it has a consensus. So it runs on the assumption that we have a pre-existing consensus on time. I'm not talking about that, right? You can't change that. That's just how Bitcoin works.
Okay.
And we're also talking under the assumption that our assumption that in like 20 years or 30 years Bitcoin's still running, and so apparently the assumption was valid, and Bitcoin works, quote unquote, because we still don't, to some extent, it's still a hypothesis, right? So I'm not talking about all that stuff. I'm just talking about you have it running, the world's actually functioning on it, but there are like all these nitty-gritty details that are like shitty. And if you were to do it again, you would get rid of all the shitty stuff. So is it worth it to then just rebuild the thing? That's the point.
As I said, I don't think it's worth it because I think there are too many unknown issues that would show up if you try to do it, and we gain not very much from it.
So you're probably going to break compatibility with all the legacy stuff, right? So it's so you're gonna have to rebuild a whole bunch of shit. But then, I mean, if the spec is, so in 20 years you're going to do it, and then after 10 years it's done, and then you can just shelve it and be like, okay, well the expectation is we're going to hard fork it in another 20 years in. So everything you build, just make sure you're also compliable with the new standard. And under the assumption that it's far easier to write compliant software with the Bitcoin 2.0, 1.0 thingy. Because that's the whole point, is that there are costs involved with dealing with the bullshit of the buck for buck.
Yeah, but you're trying to create a new cost. That is, aside from the cost of dealing with the legacy scrap, you also have to make it compatible with the new thing that you don't even know if it's going to come, because there's a risk, because not everybody agree. fiatjaf, for example, doesn't agree, and a lot of other people don't agree. So we don't know if this will happen or not. And now people are risking splitting Bitcoin too, the people that agree and the people that do not agree, and so on. It's impossible. You have to get right on the first go, or you'll have to live with crap being added on top of what.
Yes, I get that is the reality of Bitcoin, right?
That's the reality of everything, I think. But you saying Bitcoin is different.
No, my point is that the demands behind Bitcoin are different in relation to other software. So there's ultimately, because there are hinges.
No, there's not really software, like any protocol. For example, Nostr, the most stupid protocol ever. It can't change at all. If it changes, it dies. Even though it's super easy to do, it would be very easy to adapt whatever has been done today to a new thing, but still it cannot change.
So, to what extent is it analogous to, let's say, IPv4 versus IPv6, or x86 against some RISC stuff, or?
I think IPv6, apparently people thought we would run out of IPv4 addresses, so it would be like Bitcoin, like we would have to transition at some point.
Uh-huh.
But somehow the IPv4s are not ended. They keep coming. Someone found some new ones, I guess, and they're mining new IPv4 addresses. If they cease to exist at some point.
Okay, so my point is, so I guess my point is that so we have this reality. So we have this reality of Bitcoin, and you say the reality of everything. And my point is that the demand behind what Bitcoin is or represents, or like the position it has within society, demands something better. Then my conclusion based on these two things would be that we're fucked. Because if we're not able to make that transition, ultimately it's just going to grind down.
What if you make a drive chain and you make a consensus engine and a pure Bitcoin, much better blockchain, and you allow people to go between these two until the point that you can shift everything to the other one.
Right, so that's basically a migration. So that's That's another approach we're saying is like, okay, instead of expanding the uses of Bitcoin, we're just going to minimize the way we use Bitcoin.
Well, eventually, everybody can agree to not like if no one else is using the old Bitcoin, everybody has migrated to the new. You can shift the consensus, like you shift a thing, and the miners start mining directly on that, and that becomes the source of truth. I think that's the only way, because then you don't have conflict, and you can convince people slowly to migrate. But probably the most likely scenario is that the two will exist forever, one side by side with the other. But there's a chance people will migrate. I guess if you condition the migration to the day of the mandatory hard fork, like we're not going to make a hard fork on this one. Like you have to migrate to the other one, but you have to have it running for many years before that. The alternate chain.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel that we had this conversation like 3-4 times in the podcast already.
Yes.
But I guess the reason is because I mean, after all these years of like looking at Bitcoin, this is where for me where I get stuck. And I seriously think that yeah, like your best bet is to sell like a significant portion of your BTC in like 5 or 10 years, and to reduce the risk of how it progresses in like the decades after, because there are like a whole bunch of factors that on this longer time scale that are pretty fucked up. And maybe I mean you can just keep struggling forward. Sure, but at some point it becomes too much of a drag where it's like, okay, maybe it's just better to do something else entirely, like doing something else entirely with Lightning. I think one of the main things with Lightning, I think one of the main things would be not the stupid HTLCs for small stuff, just accepting that those are trusted, stuff like that.
How do you solve the fact that if the payment fails in the middle, who is to blame? You can't. That's the problem. Remember Ripple? You don't remember Ripple, right? The Ripple before it was a shitcoin.
Yeah, I do. One of the many protocols out there, yeah.
It was the idea that you could send money to someone, and that person would send to the other, and then you could pay everybody on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to make an implementation of that, but they couldn't, because like they did some centralized implementation, but they wanted a decentralized one, but they couldn't, because you couldn't know when the payment was completed with certain with an atomic.
Yes, but this problem isn't any different. This problem isn't any different with Lightning now, right?
It is different. Well, with Lightning, supposedly you have the HTOC and you have the preimage.
But you don't.
Yeah.
With small amounts, you don't. So how is it different?
With small amounts, I don't know. Well, you tell me. What happens is, I send you the money, but you're offline. I send you a fake HTOC offer, and you're supposed to give me a preimage, and in order to get that. But maybe you send me the preimage, but I don't acknowledge it. But in fact, I have the preimage, so I can pass the preimage to the previous hop. But I just ignore you.
Yep.
And that's fucked up. But if I ignore you for a long time, you close the channel.
Right.
Because supposedly you have the preimage, so you can get the preimage, use the preimage to claim the HTOC on chain. and then you close the channel because you
You're
have to do
talking
that.
current lightning, right?
Yeah, current lightning. You close the
Yeah.
channel and then there's no HTLC. So
Mm-hmm.
you release the pre-image. Supposedly, now you acknowledge that the payment was made, but you didn't get any money.
Right.
Right.
So we stop this bullshit. That's my point.
Yeah, but then if there's no, if what would you do? Like how would you acknowledge that the payment was made
What do
atomically
you mean? How do you acknowledge?
without the HTLC? How do you do it?
You,
Like
you just do the same thing. You just know it's fake. And you don't use
But-
the HLCs. You just pass a message. You say I got it. You
so
just
read,
shift
read the
Satoshis
text. Read the text that is about this on my blog. There's something about this. It's like the decentralized commit problem, something like that. And
Yes, but
how? Yeah, because
I am aware. I'm aware.
It becomes
doesn't-
an ambiguous situation. You don't know if you send the proof to the person, like here's the pre-image of your payment, and the person may have not received it, or they may have received and is ignoring you, and you never know.
Yes, but how is it different now?
Now you close the channel. If you close the channel, like everybody assumes that the payment wasn't made, but yeah, now it's very fucked up. It's very bad. It's awful, but we don't want awful. We want good.
No, but this is an unsolvable problem, right? But it's a localized problem.
No, it's not because, like,
Yes, it is. You
for example,
So
you paid someone through me as a hop, and
Mhm.
I received the pre-image from the person, and I start ignoring that person, and I say fuck you, and then I give you the pre-image, and now you give me the money, right? So I got money, and I didn't give money to that person, and you go to the person and say I paid you, and here's the proof, and the person, oh, but I didn't receive anything, so what happened? And now no one knows what happened.
but
No one knows that I'm being a bitch.
No. So you can. So let's say it's 100 sets a transaction, right? So
Yeah.
the destination of the money, he only gives the secret to the other side of the channel, the moment they rebalance like the 100 sets thing.
Okay,
And
what
only
if I
after you-
rebalance? What if I rebalance and then then don't give me the?
Yeah, then
The
then
proof.
then the other people behind there, right? They get fucked. Or at least, well, no, the one hop next to it gets fucked or the channel.
Why? No, the payment resolves from the receiver to the sender. So
Yes.
suppose it's just you paying Bob.
Only
through me.
only one party gets fucked, and that's like one other side of the other side of the channel gets fucked. Because he's not getting the money from he's not able to he doesn't have the secret, so he cannot do the rebalance and in his next hop, right? So he gets fucked. He gets fucked over for 100 sets.
Okay.
And that's it. You get fucked over for 100 sets. But the receiver still got his money, right? He's insured that he gets his money because he only gives the secret after he gives the
No,
after
what
you
if?
do the channel rebalance.
Okay, suppose you're paying Bob using me as a hop, and do you send me the money first before I even talk to Bob? Because I don't have the pre-image, like I don't have the proof. I have to ask Bob to give me.
No, so wait, I'm paying Bob, right?
Yeah.
Via you. Yes. Okay. So then we settle the route like we set up the route like we normally do, and then Bob's supposed to get the 100 sets from you, right?
Yeah.
And so you do the channel rebalance, and now Bob has 100 sets more on his side of the channel, right?
Okay.
And then and then it gets to Bob goes to me and it's like, I would like to have the 100 sets, and I'm like, fuck you, Bob. I'm not
No.
giving you the money.
No, it's not.
So now Bob's fucked.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Not fuck you, fiatjaf. So Bob's like fuck. So I'm like fuck you, fiatjaf. I'm like, sorry, I got confused. So I'm like, so you do the channel rebalance for 100 sets with Bob, and then you go to me, and you're
But
like,
then Bob gives me a secret. Okay. Right.
yes, and then with the secret you go to me, you give me the secret, and I'm like, la la la, I can hear you, fuck you, fiatjaf.
No, but you should give me the money first before I give you the secret. That's what
Yes.
you're.
Oh
you
yes,
give.
yes, right.
So the thing is, Bob. Okay. Okay, I get fucked anyway. I don't like this idea. This network's not working for me.
No, but you fuck somebody over for 100 sets. It's like, okay. You can decide what consequences that has. But it's a localized problem. Only one person gets fucked for 100 sets. The receiver has his money. The payer never actually had to pay. And somewhere in the route, somebody gets fucked over for 100 sets. Well, that's life. I mean, then you have to rethink your life decisions in making a channel with that person.
Yeah. I thought about this many times, and I think there's an issue with that solution, but I don't remember what it is.
Well, the question becomes is like, can you actively exploit this? And how scalable is this as an attack? Can you actually do this at scale? And probably
I think one of the issues is, when does this thing expire? Like, how much time do I have to give you the secret? Because you have to lock some coins. Like, you have to promise you won't spend your money. Like, you can't do that forever.
No, you don't. That's not true. You don't.
No, you have to promise me, because I'm going to send money to Bob, and you told me
yes, but you
to
do
pay
that
Bob.
with the time lock. Yes, but you do that with a time lock, but we're not using time locks anymore.
Yeah, but what if you tell me to pay Bob, and I wait 1 month, and then I pay Bob, and then I come to ask you for the money? Here's your secret. Give me the money, and you say, well, I don't have the money anymore. I spent it, and then who is to blame now?
Well,
Like,
you can. Okay, but so then you just say it's like, okay, I want to have this done within 60 seconds, and if it's not done within 60 seconds, well then, tough luck.
Well, but what if Bob disconnects, and I send him the money, and then he disconnects, and he comes back 80 seconds later, and now I was fucked because of the disconnection.
Yep. You have to reconsider your life choices getting into a channel with.
Well, how do we agree? How do we agree on the time? We must have some other method.
You can just state the time. Can be part of the transaction.
No, because I can say the time has not passed yet, and you say the time has passed, but maybe your clock is running faster than mine.
Yep, and now we
don't know who's to blame.
I don't care who's to blame.
Somebody
got fucked. Yeah, no, because we're.
You do care, because we need to know that in order to decide things in the future.
No, you don't, because it's a localized problem. So we're in our channel, we're mad at each other. I'm like, well, 61 seconds passed, and you're like, well, no, 59 seconds passed, and like we're mad at each other about 100 sets, and we can go outside in the streets and have a fight, right? But it's a localized problem, and we can reconsider our life choices.
Yeah, but we will have. Yeah, but how? Maybe my software is broken, and it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And how will I know that? I must know that.
Such a shame.
I must know that.
No, you don't need to know. Why? Why do you need to know that? Because you want to automate the thing.
Of course.
Right? Is that okay? So that's the foundation.
No, but also
like
no. It's not necessarily. If I do this manually, I also wouldn't know if I should keep trusting you or not in the future, if I don't know what happened.
So my point is that it's ultimately a thing of discretion, and if you do it manually, you can decide right then and there because you're doing it manually, and if you automate it, you're doing like 3 strikes and you're out, right? You can fuck me over 3 times for 100 sets, or you can say you can fuck me over for a total of 10,000 sets, and if you fuck me over for more than 10,000 sets, I'm going to close the channel. Or if you fuck me over 10 times, however many sets, right? Maybe 10.
But wouldn't it be nice to be able
101 sets
to? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to publish that to the others, so they know you're a son of a bitch?
No, because you can sybil. It's like no, because there is no identity here, right?
Why not? We could have public keys.
So, you mean in terms of like if you build no, because then you get like a reputation system. I mean, that's fine if you want to build that as an overlay, you can do that. Gets kind of difficult, but you can always pretend like I'm a new guy, right?
Yeah.
And then what do you want to do? Like do chain analysis or something? It's like, well, I did chain analysis, and according to this chain analysis, you're the exact same guy as the other dude. Like, okay.
So why can't you do this with entire?
You put up a fake mustache by doing coin join, right? You do a coin join. You put up a fake mustache on your UTXO, and then you're like, I'm a different guy now.
So why can't we do that with just trust? No Bitcoin involved at all. Just promises of payment, and then we settle at the end of the month. We do a single transaction. We settle that, and move on. Keep going with the
because the whole point is that you actually it's real the moment you don't do it via HLC, you don't do it via a separate output, you just do it via the rebalancing of the
yeah, that's good too. I think it's good too, but I was thinking like it would be much gooder if you did it without touching the chain at all, like if you can trust the person.
You don't touch the chain. You do it in the Lightning thing, right? Yeah,
but we have to make the channel. You have to make the channel. Yeah, but I guess in this case the channels wouldn't close at all.
You need guarantees. No, but you need guarantees. You need the guarantees in order to ensure that if somebody fucks you over for more than 10,000 sets, or if somebody fucks you over more than 100 times, right? You're able to actually do an action.
I think you can do like a system that supports both things. For people that really trust each other, you can just do the trust thing, but other people they can have a parallel channel that they move the sets.
So that's a third layer. So we have three methods of interacting. So we have for higher value transactions, it's via HTLCs. Then if you already have a channel set up, you can just do the rebalance of the channel, and another way is doing like a virtual channel. But you could already do a virtual channel if you wanted to anyway.
Well, I don't know if you could today because of the assumptions of the HTLC, which Lightning itself do not follow, right? They're supposed to have these proofs. They're undeniable.
Okay, so I understand. So your point is that the current Lightning is not compatible with anything other than itself, in the sense of the routing. Because that's one point. I mean, I do think the Lightning Network should be able to handle chicken channels.
What's a chicken channel?
So we have a chicken coop, right? So let's say we buy a piece of land, right?
Okay.
So we live next to each other, and there's like this piece of land in between us. So we share this land, and we put like 20 chickens on that land, right?
Okay.
So we can make a channel based on those 20 chickens. And it's just a matter of the fact that it's like, okay, I own 10 chickens and you own 10 chickens, and then there is a payment going, and we can route that payment via our chicken channel.
Okay.
right? So
What,
I
what
get
if
like
a chicken
10
dies?
that's
Who's that
a
chick-
risk. That's something. That's a risk that we have locally between ourselves that we accept.
Okay, okay.
That's the whole thing. It's like all these risks are localized between the parties within the channel. Nobody else cares. Like the rest of the network doesn't care if a chicken dies. Only we care if a chicken dies.
Okay.
And for some reason, we wanted to use chickens as a channel, or so I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Let's do chicken channels and everything else. But I still think there must be a better way to do that. I was thinking that the best way would be to have an arbiter or a set of arbiters that we both trust. So in case one of us is offline or something like that, they will adhere to the whatever the arbiter said. So if I have
Okay,
a
so that's
pre-image, I have a
so
pre-image.
that's a
I can't
fourth
send
way.
it to
No,
you. Yeah,
No,
then I
that's a
send it to
fourth
them.
way. No, that's a fourth way. So you don't. So that's just a fourth way. So instead of, we're still doing the channel rebalance, but in the contract, in the contract that we're actually using, there is a third key, and the third key is the arbiter key. So in terms of when there is conflict, the other person, if you don't sign cooperatively, you need the arbiter key. So if we get into a fight about our chickens, or like not our chickens, our 100 sets, right? Then we go to our arbiter and solve it that way. And then he looks at the data and he was like, well, it was actually 61 seconds, not 59. So apparently you can afford to pay me to give judgments over this 100 Satoshi discrepancy, and I judge this way. And because I have the key needed to sign the transaction, I'm going to do whatever I think is right, right? Something like that. You can do that. You can pull in any arbiter into it. But you have to do it the moment
That's
you
true.
set up the channel.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the proposal. We're going to make a very modular lighting fuckboat channels, fuckboat network, and it will support all kinds of shit in it. Like you can bring your own system, settlement system, juke arbiter system, whatever. I'll think about it.
You should watch. Shinobi made a video about this a very long while ago. About the lightning stack, where he described like all the different layers. I think it was good. It's like, but I don't know to what extent the actual implementations actually look at it that way or practically function that way. And
how can I find that? I'll wait for you to send them.
I'll look it up to you. Shit, how was that show called? Oh, it's been so long. I don't think they. I had the shitty song at the start or at the end or whatever. It was with Janine and Shinobi and hashed. Fuck.
Well,
what was it called? Do you know it?
No.
You don't know it?
No.
Why can't I come up with what the thing was called? The dogs are really going at it.
Really?
I think they're killing a chicken channel.
They're closing a chicken channel.
Why can't I come up with
Okay, let's end this thing because I have to turn off. It's been a million times, like a million years since this episode
I
has
agree,
started.
but now I need to find out.
You send me later, whatever.
Yes, but I want to mention it in the podcast as well, so other people know.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Oh yes, you do it in the description.
If you go on the antihash.xyz/fboat. No, just kidding. We don't have this.
Oh, it's good. fuck bolt lightning implementation. We shouldn't call it lightning then.
Have I
We
ever
need to
said
call
like that Tej Raja knows about the problem and he doesn't like it? And no one cares about him. No one
Can
cares
you
about
repeat?
Tej Raja. He doesn't like
Yeah.
the idea of fake HTOCs at
Yeah.
all. But he has no voice. Like no one cares about what he's saying, even though he invented lightning, and everybody loves lightning.
So, do you think we can get him to work on be the lead developer of the F-Bolt spec?
Maybe, but we need a lot of money for that because he's working on that super magic company. You know the company, Lightspark.
What is he doing there?
I don't know. Maybe he walks through the corridors and that's it, and everybody feels inspired.
Oh god damn it! Why can't I come up with what the name of the freaking show is? Oh my god!
Maybe it's
so
a Twitter space because now people
No.
do Twitter spaces and
No.
such that no one can ever find whatever they made in
No.
the past.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I agree. But is that a problem? I mean, I've produced most of my content, quote unquote, on
Telegram.
Telegram channel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. You should have a website and you should write your stuff there, and people would find it and read it, and you wouldn't be restricted to a bunch of Hollandese. People that live below the level of reasonableness. The sea. I
It's
mean,
below sea level and in the swampland with no hills. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Why can't I come up with the name of the freaking show? Okay, we're
you should
gonna end
ask
here.
ChatGPT. That's what you should do. And also should ask on that website that your friend did, called a friend that I imagine comes from the lowlands, plebai.com.
Oh right, the Pleb AI.
Is he paying us?
Blog
40 cents?
Digest. Jesus Christ, it's Blog Digest. That's the name of the show. I don't think they've made an episode in like a very, very, very long time. Let's see what their latest.
Is that Shinobi's claims to fame? Like he's a guy who spoke in this show? Because I don't know what he has done to earn his fame. Aside from
basically
being aggressive with everybody
They
and
made-
not saying anything that makes any sense.
They made 280 episodes.
Okay, so if we get to that number, then people will start respecting us.
I guess so. Yeah. We first have to make 280 episodes, but the
How
thing
many,
is,
how
they
many
actually
episodes
had-
does the Unhash podcast have?
This is episode 20.
No, Unhash.
Oh, sorry, unhashed. It's the unhashed podcast. Why don't you look up what the unhashed podcast number was? And I'm going to look up the other video.
Can we just shut this down? My ears are starting to hurt.
Poor thing. Poor thing. Put the fiatjaf.
186. Well, no, 194. That's so many.
I think I found it. It's called Second Layer Evolution. Let's see if it has the... Yeah. Okay. So I found the video. You go watch this.
Okay, and you read
and-
my article that I wrote a long time ago.
Okay, link your shitty article.
I sent you the link.
And... Oh.
I sent you the link on our private chat because I don't want Jeremy Rubin to read it.
Ah, okay.
And he lives.
Yeah, we have a hobo inside our production channel, somewhere in the corner, lurking. We asked if he wanted to come on, and then he didn't respond. So maybe one day he'll get on the podcast. I hope we gave some added value. Also, we can just rehash the same episode or like the same content over and over again because the idea is that we're going to get more new listeners over time.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can basically do the same episode every time. And then if your growth is big enough, then a lot of people won't actually notice. So let's say you have a growth rate of like 20% every time. Then 20% doesn't notice. And then I guess another 40% doesn't get bored for like 3 episodes. So then you just need like enough to get breakaway, right? That your growth is big enough that your loss doesn't matter anymore.
So there were a lot of interesting news on Bitcoin that we didn't comment about this week. If you go to the Optech newsletter, we could have talked about
Yeah, I went
so
to
many
the Optech.
things.
Yeah, I went to the Optech news.
For example, Binance adds Lightning support. We could have talked a half an hour about that. Nunchuck adds CPFP support. Wow, this is very good because whatever. And
No, that's a minor thing. I do think that the Binance adopting Lightning, that's interesting, right? I mean, it's the fucking biggest exchange by far. So
they couldn't pay through private channels, like if you had a mobile channel.
They said something they don't want to do Moon and Breeze.
They said that explicitly.
Yes. Yes.
This
it
is so
doesn't work
crap.
with Moon and Breeze.
No, it doesn't work because it has a bug, right, on their implementation. It's not that they don't want to. I think. I imagine.
I'm not aware. I'm not aware.
Oh, there's this validating Lightning signer. This is one of the projects funded by Spiral. It's a very interesting project, but has no actual use case. I think there will be a total of 12 people running this in the world. So I think it's a waste of time.
So the reason why I have like shitty prep for this episode is because I was actually hoping that Jeremy would have time to come on, and then we could have discussed the secure the bag thing.
But no, you promised him that we wouldn't talk about that.
No, but I really do want to talk about that because it's because I think 2 weeks ago or something I went for a walk and then I was thinking about this, and then I figure it's like, okay, when you have like this moment of on-chain congestion, there's like this economic crisis and everybody needs to get.
I don't think that's very important. We could talk about that, but I don't think.
No, it is very important. It's very fucking important.
I think CTV is a very minor thing that doesn't add much value. It's so simple, so
you're
dumb.
Such an idiot.
It's so dumb.
Such an idiot.
Why am I an idiot?
fiatjaf, you're such a fucking idiot.
Stop offending me.
The reason you suck at StarCraft, you know nothing about Bitcoin. No, it is really important because you have like a UTXO production rate of 4 megabytes per 10 minutes, right? But then
whatever, you shouldn't rely on immediate confirmation of anything. That's why Lightning is broken.
The point is not about relying on immediate confirmation. The point is that there is you make time locks, but you don't know necessarily.
You shouldn't make time locks. That's the issue. The only people that make time locks are Lightning people, and Lightning doesn't work.
And Arc makes like.
Oh shit.
The point is that having it. If you're doing it via security bag, you ensure the deterministic aspect of that you actually are going to get your money down the line, right? It's insured on chain. You're just not able to get it for a very long time. But that's fine
because you want immediate confirmation. You shouldn't rely on the chain for immediate confirmation. You should make transactions that
it's not about you're not getting immediate confirmation on the fact you don't get the money instantly, but you get the confirmation.
I know.
Able to get the money. Yes, and that's yes. You need that in the real world, fiatjaf. If I'm like financing, so I'm financing building a project, right? I'm building some mega building, right? And there is a on-chain crunch, and my financiers were like, okay, well we'd like to send you the money, but we can't right now because the fees are like insanely high. And it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this mega project. It's gonna take me 10 years to build, so it's fine. Just do the secure the bag thing. Then I'm at least insured that I'm able to get the money. So then I can go to my the people building the stuff. What do you call it? The contractors. So I can go to my contractors and do the same thing. I can also do the secure the bag transaction to them, so they know that they're actually going to get their money.
But you can't do that.
So it's not a. What?
You can't do that.
You can't. Why can't you do that?
because you have to know where is the money going before you commit. So you can't like, oh, I have a commitment and now I'm going to forward that to other people. You can't do that.
You can.
And each
Why?
secure the
Can't
bag
you
thing,
just-
each secure the bag thing
Oh,
that you do is also
you
a
first have to-
transaction.
Yes.
So it only makes sense if you're an exchange paying 1 million people at the same time, and then you do a big batch, and that's it. But if you're a single person, like you gain basically nothing from doing that. You just do the transaction.
There is a service running. It's not about. It's not. So I just go to the www that I need the on-chain assurance of the fact that I'm going to get my money at sometime.com.
Mm-hmm.
And there I submit my transaction, and he's like, okay, I'm going to include this into the next thing, together with like a zillion other people.
I don't see how that would work.
Why don't you see how that would work? That's exactly the same.
I have
thing
the
as
money.
exchange we're doing.
I have the money. I want to give you the money. Why do I have to give
Yes.
the money to these other people, and then they will give you a proof that you can get the money, and then they will give the money? Like we exchanged one transaction for 3 transactions.
Because it's too expensive to actually do the on-chain transaction.
But how am I going to send the money to this service?
You don't need to send. You don't send money to the service. You send only the transaction to the service, and it includes it.
Because they are minor, they're including the transaction in a block.
No.
I know it's not that, but
I have these inputs, right? I want to please include this stuff into the secure the bag thing.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay,
then
I
we
see
did.
it now. Sorry.
And
Was
we do.
that ever said? Like, did Jeremy Rubin ever talked about that?
That's the reason why I want to talk about it. Because first I was like, when I first heard about the security bag thing, I was like, what's the point of this, right?
But
and
he
then I had
didn't.
this
He
wall.
never talked about this. I read the
Yes,
stuff. He
I
didn't.
know.
No one realized this is a thing. This is your creation.
yes. So that's why I wanted to discuss this with them.
Well,
But-
I thought you were trying to explain to me the thing, but you were actually trying to expose a new idea. I wasn't ready for that.
No, so I identified the future problem of the fact that you create contracts over time, but there is a large the risk profile is such that the odds are that everybody needs to go on chain at the same time, right? Because of the same external reason, because of some financial.
This may
pressure or
be a
whatever.
really good idea.
Thank you. So that's a real significant problem in the far, far future. And then this would actually be a solution to that problem. Because then you trade the on-chain bloat of doing an extra transaction with the secure the bag thing for the insurance that the other party is eventually actually going to get the money. But he did. He did mention. He said it about. It was in the context of chain congestion that he talked about secure the bag. That's
Yes,
not true.
yes,
He
yes.
He did say that.
No, but he didn't say anyone could use it by using a service that would patch these things.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm not. So okay, that's true.
That would have
Okay,
made
that's true.
CTV much more powerful, and it would have been activated.
I'm not.
Of course
I'm
not.
Sure
No
to
one
what extent-
cares.
I'm not. The difference is that it's well, maybe it works. I don't know. Because with the exchange thing, it's like there's one party on the input side and there are a whole bunch of people on the output side, and here there are a whole bunch
With
of
the
different
exchange
parties on the
thing,
input
I
side.
think I don't think it's very useful because people
Yeah,
receiving money
yeah.
from the exchange, you don't know how in which hurry they are, and then they would have to run some special software to claim their money later.
Yes,
I
but
don't
you
know.
need special software for everything. Complexity is a solution.
No,
to
no,
all
no.
the-
You
all the
have
subsequent
you have
problems
like
in
this
Bitcoin.
these 20 different wallets that each person can use, and they wouldn't have support for the CTV thing, and so it's a chicken and egg
Yeah.
problem. You wouldn't.
No,
you
because
wouldn't.
that's Because that's when you make like development kits, and then you have libraries, and people include it into the library.
That's not how it works. Like this is the ideal world of people that do development kits. For example, there's the LDK thing that is the development kit, supposedly makes your life easier, and still people are using like they're taking LND and putting it on mobile wallets instead of using the LDK because why? I don't know. Because they prefer that.
Yes, but
because it's not as easy as they claim. No, it's never.
Are they still going to do that in 10 years?
In 10 years, none of that will exist. Lightning will not exist. Bitcoin will be dead unless we activate drive chains today.
You're such a fucking asshole. Are they still going to do that in 5 years?
In 5 years, there will be a much better project. Like it will be the Lightning
Yes, it's
Super
going to be our,
LSDK.
It's going to be our Lightning. It's going to be. We're going to have to call it different than Lightning. I'm going to think about that. So I'm not sure what the we're going to call it chicken chain.
Egg chain. Okay.
Egg chain.
Goodbye.